Now continue. I wonder if you're like, you know, you could potentially just go into your PC, but then that causes the problem of just leaving the PS4 on. Damn.
Well, actually, I wouldn't be able. And if I did that, I wouldn't be able to talk with you while you play.
That's what I'm saying. If you went over to your PC, you'd have to, you know, keep the PS4 on to talk, just so you could watch the video, little stream, while being able to do other things, you know? See, I'm like, never mind. I realize the stupidity of it myself.
And I'm in, so you can edit it all the way up to now.
You look at the cold, dark water.
Later.
The current seems so strong that they could carry off even the most experienced of swimmers. And you aren't even a mediocre one. You once read a legend in a book. Elria, the goddess of water, did not like the children of the forge and cursed the dwarves, so that they would drown in any waters beyond their kingdoms. The main reason that dwarves avoid water to this day. You call to the nearest fisherman. He looks across at you briefly before turning away and getting back to his work. You're going to have to find another way of crossing the river. You leave the peaceful banks of the river behind you and continue on your way. You look down on a large village on the banks of the Warder. Some of the village is built on stilts in the river. A wooden bridge spans the fast-flowing water. A huge wooden palisade has been erected to protect the village from attack. Your eyes roam the land on the other side of the river. You estimate that you will soon have completed half of the journey to Blacksaddle, but you still can't make out the mountain on the horizon. The guards on the palisade are watching you. Their armor looks well cared for and well made. The smith who made them knew what he was doing. You conclude that the men depend on the protection the armor offers and aren't just wearing them to look good. They're certainly not villagers.
I can tell one thing about this game, and that is not very well optimized for the console. I have no idea how well it runs on PC and Xbox though, so if it runs like the way it does here on all three, it wasn't very well made. On the mechanics or something. Engine, what have you, because as you know, it tends to have a bit of slow and lags. Every now and again, yeah. You can run into the fire if you want to, by the way. I found out by accident, in case you wonder.
Some of the guards begin to whisper as you near the gate.
Hello up there. What brings you to fair good water? And have you seen any orcs on your travels, Groundling?
The man leaning over the palisade eyes you up and down carefully.
Oh. I guess I'll have to go with that one.
I'm a dwarf, I'll have you know, just like you are humans and not overgroundlings. So will you let me in now? I regret to inform you that we cannot allow you to enter. The gates stay closed once night has fallen.
There is certainly no regret showing in the man's face. The orc heads on the spears look fresh, a fact that causes you unease for more than one reason.
Those won't scare orcs away.
I hope not. The more orc heads that end up on those spears, the more gold coins that end up in our pockets. Right, boys? Yeah! That's right! Yeah! We've killed our fair share of orcs and know how to
The fact
motivate
that it
them.
was basically the same dude
Those
doing the
ugly
cheering
mugs will
made
spur
it seem
them
like he was the
on,
only one
and
excited
then
about it.
they'll perish in front of our gates.
Like it was
Two
like,
things
yeah, why
become
we let this
clear to
asshole
you.
talk for us?
Firstly, that the mercenaries the villagers have hired are excellent at killing orcs, and secondly, that they sadly have no brains at all.
When did you kill these orcs?
Yesterday. We caught a couple of their scouts first. The others tried to take revenge in the evening. Let's see who'll turn up today.
Do you want me to be mauled by the orcs? Let me in.
You're pleased to notice that your voice sounds more accusatory than worried. The free peoples of Girdlegard have always stood side by side against the beasts of Tion. The mercenary seems to weigh up his options, but then shakes his head.
Put a few miles between yourself and us, and then you should be safe. As safe as you can be these days.
Stay alert.
Oh, yeah. You bet.
Yeah. Where to go?
The double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy but still much less solid than the fixed parts of the palisade. Security has been forgone here for practical reasons. Never a good idea when building fortifications.
Orc skulls?
You're not sure it's wise to taunt the beasts with the severed heads of their fellow kind. The stakes look a bit different here. You want to look a little closer, but the guard on the other side is vigilant.
Get lost!
The stakes look a bit...
Okay. Anything else?
The drawbridge.
The wooden palisade encompasses the whole of the large village and is guarded by many men in armor. The stronghold has been constructed in haste, probably only over the last few days. But the work is sound, and uninvited guests should find it difficult to gain access.
You had like a campfire and something up on the walkway behind you.
Is this to be your bed for the night? A flat, cold hollow under a bush? At least you wouldn't be discovered immediately. You think about waiting by the fire until the morning. At least you wouldn't have to go cold.
You have change for 20. You have change for 20.
I don't think so. I
Yes,
have.
preferably.
I don't think I have any.
Damn. I knew I should have gone out today. I'm sick of the dog. Let's dive down here.
Is this to be your bed for the night?
You hardly slept a wink during the night. The
Ooh,
cold had you
there's one
gripped
more
to the
in a
bone.
different
Better
bush.
to freeze than give orc archers an easy target.
Alright. Now, that entire sequence of events annoys me. If you sleep by the fire, you don't get much sleep due to the fact of you're paranoid at every sound. If you sleep under the bush, oh, you couldn't sleep that much last night because of the cold. And if you bribe your way into there, you don't sleep a wink due to worry of being woken up with a knife to the neck because you, in their opinion,
Back door.
An
broke in.
uneasy feeling has been your constant companion since you left Goodwater. Every little sound in the forest makes you fear you've been discovered by a horde of orcs. But you reach the end of the day without bumping into any of the greenskins. It seems as though Vrakas has granted you one more day in Girdlegard. As night begins to fall, you pass a large oak tree and decide to call it a day. Near the oak tree, is an abandoned camp with a fireplace, which appears to be a couple of days old. You swing yourself up the trunk and then pull up your baggage after you. You're prepared to sleep in a tree like a bird if it means escaping the orcs' attentions. You sling your rope twice around your stomach and the trunk of the tree to stop you from falling accidentally. You close your eyes and dream. You see North Pass and smell the fresh, icy wind that sweeps over the peaks of Great Blade and Dragon's Tongue. But the harmony is interrupted by the hideous roar of an unending flood of orcs throwing itself unceasingly against the fortification. You smell the disgusting green blood of the orcs and taste the rancid fat of their armor on your tongue. The bitter taste becomes stronger until it's unbearable and wrenches you out of your dream. You open your eyes and are surprised at the brightness as a glance at the sky confirms that it's still night. Your eyes move towards the ground, and what you see makes the blood in your veins freeze.
Does it actually spawn you up the tree?
Since this all runs by itself
I am Sinthras
for a good
of
bit, I'm gonna go to the
Son
bathroom.
My master, Lord On the Doublefold, ruler of the perished land, has elected you, the lords of Taboribor, to be the sword that conquers the south.
You mean you want us to put our necks on the line and be killed by some magus?
Lord Yonan and the others will be taken care of. Your task is to create a diversion in the south until my master's plan succeeds.
And which of us is the leader?
The one that conquers the most land.
So Kragnar will be the new Grand Lord.
He glares at Ushnots and Bashkuk.
The Kragnar Shore tribe will conquer the most land.
Never! We will overwhelm the cities of the Red Bloods quicker than you can suck the marrow from a bone!
We shall see.
You can't believe what you're hearing. If the beasts of Tion ride into battle together, catastrophic cycles lie ahead for Girdlegard. The night in the oak tree was the worst of your life. You spent every single moment afraid that you'd be found and savaged by the orcs. But as the first rays of sun broke through the treetops, the orcs abandoned their camp and left without discovering you.
I'm back now.
Welcome back.
Better safe than sorry.
Your eyes scan the deserted camp, and you listen carefully for any noise. But you don't see or hear anything suspicious. Your eyes survey the foul aftermath of the orc's presence. You don't feel any urge to stick your nose too deeply into the mixture of ripped clothes, leftover food, and feces.
This is the place. I knew it was here. Come on then, find that stupid necklace. Hey, Fuskar! In front of you! A grounding! Perfect for a spotted breakfast.
I prefer this option better.
You know that you're no warrior, but perhaps you can escape with a diversion.
Oink, oink, little piggies! Hi, Barrowin's beard! How did you manage to lose your weapon? Go and get it, and this time, hold it tight! Hey, that one was mine! You're just too slow, dear brother! Too slow? Just wait! And what now? Yes? Huh?
During when it use their attack.
Yeah! What is it? What is it? Who's next? He hardly put up a fight. Yes? Yeah! Huh? Who's next? Huh? Please wait a moment. What is it? What is it? Pow! Who's next? Bites the dust. Yes? Yeah! And what now? Huh? I can't do that yet. Huh? What is it? Huh? Yeah! I didn't hit you very hard.
I'm guessing he has some cooldown techniques like
Yes!
and gold chain the axis in the field.
Kill. Huh? Yeah! What is it? Huh? Huh?
I make up. I should be okay.
Huh? Yes, too easy. What is it? Ha ha! Yes, he hardly put up a fight. Ha ha! Oink oink! That's all? No more orcs? Well fought, young friend. Do you happen to be tongued ill? Well fought? But he fought like a... Boindale, what do you expect? He grew up amongst the humans.
Who are you, and how do you know my name?
My name is Boindal Hookhand, of the clan of the Swinging Axes. This is my brother, Boindale Doubleblade. We've been sent to find you. Call me Ironheart. Are there any more piggy snouts around here?
There was a meeting last night. The Elfar serve a certain Nod On who calls himself Lord of the Perish Land. They have enlisted 3 orc hordes to cause unrest in the south.
Did you hear that, Boandal? Peggy snouts!
The Elfar from Son Balzur and the orcs from Taboribor are working together?
And could ally with the orcs from the Perish Land.
The twins look at you solemnly. You all know what that would mean for the people of Girdlegard.
We've got to...
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. But it's our duty to get you to the Ogre's Death Fort.
I thought the duty of dwarves was to protect the innocent in Girdlegard.
Lot Yonan and King Broron will take care of the orcs. We 3 must be careful. You're not exactly a warrior.
I swear I've seen.
But he has broad shoulders and broad hands. There's hope for him yet. So when you've got the chance to split a few orc skulls, you should take it.
You turned up at just the right moment. But are you sure it's me you're looking for?
The High King Gundrabor sent us to fetch you and bring you to Ogre's Death in the Secondling realm in the south.
So he received the letter from my master? And am I a secondling?
Well, something like that, I guess.
Then my family was found and the High King wants to bring me back to my clan.
No, you're not a secondling. You're a fourthling.
What does it mean by
and you're
secondling?
The High King will tell you all about that once we get to Ogre's Death. We should get going.
I would be happy to follow you into the realm of the secondlings. In truth, there is nothing I would rather do. But first, I must travel to Blacksaddle and return some things to a former famulus of Lot Yonan.
Blacksaddle isn't exactly on our way.
It's on my way. We can head south as soon as I've carried out Lot Yonan's orders.
Well, he's certainly got the stubbornness of a dwarf. Perhaps we'll be able to make a real dwarf of him on the way.
All right, we'll accompany you. The sooner we find that famulus, the quicker we can get back to the mountains.
I'll have to send Lot Yonan a message by carrier pigeon on the way. And if we happen to stumble upon a couple of orcs...
I like you, but we'll have to find you another name. Bolafar. It's about as good as Lipsmith, Paddletosh, or Blufflegrump. It is stupid, senseless, and definitely not a name of honor. What are you good at?
I'm good at reading.
Reading? You're a scholar?
Alright, so 3,500, 2,900. Now see if it actually stays that way once I fucking leave onto the map.
Your rations are probably going to just go poof.
Okay, so it didn't like instantly injure them. Okay, so follow them up to here. 1, 2.
So, they already had these injuries and stuff beforehand? When they met you?
Yeah, being that they engaged in battle with orcs and someplace else. So, I either have to give up Axeldale or Steppenton. Because 1, 2, 3, 4. Because if I go into here, they go into there. And then I have 4 or 5 turns to get over to there. Axeldale, though, only has 2 turns.
No, honestly, being that they're mercenaries, I would probably just leave Axelton with the trash.
No, the mercenaries are down here at Goodwater.
Oh.
They were the guys that were greeting, and they were the guys that were, you know, like, we cannot open the gate.
Then I'd abandon Goodwater.
It's not that they didn't want to, it's just that they had orders to not open the gate once night fell.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, though,
But
even with their mercenaries, they still lose. Now here's the real kicker. Scalebrook here has no guards at all. Yet when I came out of there, back when I did this last, they had 20 fucking turns. I'm like, and now that I'm thinking back, and I'm like, how are the mercenaries here only able to hold for 6 turns, and then they die? But the fucking farmers and shit down in Scalebrook can hold them for 20 gosh damn turns and not die. Max scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Stapleton is basically a lost cause. King's Cavalry. So as you can see there, Stapleton goes into a 5 turn countdown to F'd.
The road leads up a
Well, you could have made it there, but you'd have had to abandon the other 2. Which, these 2 down here, you're able to actually save, while you'd only be able to save 1. The other. But it also puts you much closer to your objective. He has so little health, and he's only lost 2. He's only lost 2 HP. Or he's only lost 2 hits.
Huh? At once.
Huh?
Yes, yes!
Huh? On my way!
Uh-huh.
What is it?
What is it? All right.
Huh? On my way.
Yes, those blasted trumpeters are calling for reinforcements.
Not for long. Uh-huh.
What is it?
What is it?
That's why you can see
I'm not back, right? Ow! Another one bites the dust.
Yes, yes! Shoot!
Dear Lord.
I'm not back, right?
Yes.
How are you supposed to know that?
Yes.
And again. Uh-huh.
Kill him. Too easy. I didn't hit you very hard.
And again.
And what now?
Too easy.
It's funny that you do what he's doing.
Dumbass
I
useless
didn't hit you
ability.
very hard.
What is it?
Ow! Another one bites the dust.
Some real good stuff inside.
Huh?
Huh?
The fact that he's
Oh,
able
he's
to
a berserker.
run
Huh?
Yes.
And what now?
Uh-huh.
I have forward guard. Give me a hand.
Yes?
Yes.
He hardly put up a
I didn't hit you very hard. Huh? Huh?
Trying to say as long as you.
What is it?
What is it?
Uh-huh.
Huh? Who's next? Pow! Another one bites the dust. Too easy. Huh?
He's the only one left. Holy shit.
Yes.
And what now?
What is it? Don't rush me. Pow! Another one bites the dust.
Huh?
Huh?
What is it?
Yes.
Too easy.
And that's the only one truly left.
Lifesaver. These have saved a village from an army attack. Which means that Brookscale is meant to happen. That's why it has 20 fucking turns for you to get your ass down there and save it.
No sooner is the battle won than terrified survivors start to venture out of their hiding places. Women with sheets ripped into strips and buckets of hot water take care of the injured. A man with a blood-encrusted arm approaches you.
My name is Malchius. I am... well, I think that I am now the mayor of this village. Without your help, we wouldn't have been able to stop the orcs. I thank you, and regret that we have nothing to offer you as a reward.
The man's contemplative expression brightens.
Unless, if you want to cross the river, we can ferry you. Everyone for miles around will know your names, for we owe our lives to you. Whenever you want to get to the other bank, just let us know.
You thank him politely and spend the night as honored guests in Malchius's house. All evening, people come to the house to give you small gifts and swear eternal thanks.
I feel dried herbs.
You see a light through the trees. You tell the dwarves about your encounter.
Ah, they're not
You
humans
can
are not
actually
our...
save people if you seriously feel the need to.
Thinking about it, they do deserve it.
Boindil. You lie awake in your camp and think about the woodcutter's roast that you had for dinner. The rabbit...
The rabbit tasted of victory.
Wait, you take their rabbit?
You and the twins approach Goodwater. A huge army of orcs has surrounded the village.
I actually had to walk over that.
No problem. And it didn't give anything. It just... the one dude just went and whooped those guys' asses. Which after how much... If you try and confront them, if you try and do anything other than, you know, bark, 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 as they put it, you will get your character's ass beat. There's no, like, fight sequence. It just... It's like an asshole DM that decides you get your shit kicked in. And you can't do anything to stop it.
So in short, your character doesn't currently have a level until after the other scene where he throws the axe at him.
Yeah, and it gets smacked away.
Oh, now it's getting exciting!
Or
Archers in front of them, 3 dwarves behind. I wouldn't...
How do you lose your weapon? Go get it.
And what now?
Killed 25 ogres for a breakout.
Yes? I'm with you. On my way.
So, you're actually able to save both towns.
Yeah! Another one bites the dust. Please wait a moment. What is it?
It's relative reliability.
Huh?
Yes?
Looking at it, it looks like you're supposed to just like spam your abilities. Like,
Now the dust.
Oh. I was beginning to question.
As good as
what was
done,
going
huh?
on there.
Understood.
He hardly put up a fight.
Huh? Damn it! How many more of them are there?
Who's next?
Huh?
That actually kills people as they get something.
Who's next? Did you see that, men? Now they are warriors. Hey, you down there. I'll send you some reinforcements. Let's stick it to those runts.
All right then, stay close to us.
Yeah, and what now? Who's next?
They're hitting me pretty hard. Huh? And again.
Boydell.
Huh?
Where is Boydell?
That's just
Others
bullshit.
will take my place.
And then I think the only safe spot is to just go right to the front gate and hide there, because it funnels them.
Either that, or you try to immediately go to the left side and prepare for whenever the
Humans break out.
infantry come out. Yeah.
Seems to be the only way to survive. I mean, you saw what happened.
Yeah, you got ransacked.
One of the things the games think is, don't get surrounded, you will die. Well, it's kind of hard when you decide, let's just throw a giant fucking horde when you only got like one or three of them. Pacing for enemies wasn't well thought out. As you may have noticed.
Yeah, the game seems to expect you to absolutely spam your ability as fast as
On my way! As good as done!
Oh, there I am. That's why I couldn't fucking move, because I wasn't moving that character.
Angel just walked straight into the fire pit.
On my way!
He hardly put up a fight. I can't do that yet. Huh?
I am Boydell! Give me a hand! Who's next? And what now? Yes? Pow! Another one bites the dust.
Put up a fight.
What is the offensive going about?
Well, when one of the characters executes an enemy, it tends to give a point like that, as you may have noticed.
Yeah, the extra Oh,
What is it?
what, is he getting a bonus experience and stuff?
I didn't hit you very hard. Did you see that, men? Now they are warriors. Hey!
Probably would have been better too.
All right then, stay close to us.
I'm with you.
Oh, holy sweet Jesus.
Of course. Yes,
On my way. Yes.
Huh? Yes.
Killed 2 allies. Killed 2 allies. That I keep trying to use Towing Dells, which is sweet. Fighting on Boyndale and yeah.
I didn't hit you very hard. What is it? Pow! Another I didn't hit you very hard. Who's next?
What do you have?
And what now? We hardly put up a fight. I'm not that quick. Yes? Too easy.
The orcs' fighting spirit lessens with every fallen comrade. After Kragnar's death, they finally attempt to flee the battlefield. Very few escape the mercenaries' arrows. The leader of the mercenaries approaches you, surrounded by his soldiers.
The neighbor's talking
His
with
expression is one of recognition, caution, perhaps even
I think
awe.
you're right. The gates would have probably been the best option. And then go and just fight your way across to the humans.
Yeah, being where the humans were was basically the best choice, as you may have
You're the
saw.
groundling dwarf who was here a few nights ago. I got you all wrong.
Yeah,
Thank you for your help.
A young mercenary runs towards you. He has something in his hands that he clearly wants to get rid of quickly.
Commander, we found this on their leader. It feels strange.
The commander looks at the amulet in the man's hand and makes no suggestion that he plans to touch it himself. You take your opportunity.
May I?
You take the amulet and can feel a tingling on your skin. It is clearly magical.
Keep it as a sign of our gratitude.
The commander bids you farewell with a short nod and moves away. It would seem he thinks he's made a good deal.
If they're stepping down there holding out. Well, Scalebrook, I mean. Steppin' is just a fucking wasteland by now. And my question is, why did they go to Steppin, down to Scalebrook, when Steppin was... Yeah, 1 dot away. Well, the tavern. It was just like... I guess some dev on the team was like, wait. I don't know if we should be this big a dicks, guys. You know? Oh shit, the potion actually... The healing potion doesn't just go away. It's not like a one-time use. It's a... You can get to continue to have it.
It's just... Oh no, you got a potion in the last mission.
Devil. Talisman of Healing, simple. Oh, 10% of HP, so 600 HP every 10 strikes.
The farmstead has been... You remember how you advised the farmer to build a high... You split...
And
Quick. Thank the joy...
Before you go, take some of our...
While Apatia considers how, as a proud farmer, to politely decline the offer, Remsa reaches for the bag with the food and coins in it and nods her appreciation. She knows that the family says goodbye with much...
Now this one I remember being the hard one, if you remember last time. Because, like, go to each house, save the people, keep moving. If you stop, they're dead. 8 injuries, 6 injuries, 1 injury.
As you near
Even though he's only got
Calmstead,
1 injury,
you see that the surrounding
he is
fields are
so
in
low on
flames.
HP.
The sound of fighting reaches.
Okay, so there's.
I'm not sure you have enough time to actually get back up into this Stefan.
I will see. Well, no, not Steppen, means Scalebrook.
Yeah.
Because Steppen, like I said, I would have had to sacrifice the good place.
Yeah, the 2 towns.
Nope, I have everybody sit down. I won't. Just need to remember to use his thing, which is,
The down X.
there it is. When damage is received, there's 50% chance of reducing it by 50%.
Yes?
Help! Let us out!
There are still people in the houses!
Let's get them out of there, and quickly.
What is it?
Another one bites the dust.
Owendale is
Indeed, which is why I'm using him to do the rescues and just the one inside here.
I didn't hit you very hard.
It doesn't have to say I have to keep him alive, it just says I have to rescue them from burning to death. Fucked up, but that's what it reads.
well, they're actually fighting back.
He hardly put up a fight!
Vile creature.
It's funny that actually does that much damage. There's one more person you need to save.
Bada boom. I didn't realize that it was a house that was in need of saving, and there was no fire on it, you know? Also, it's funny, all I needed to do was break open the houses basically to win. Boyndale was best. Boyndale. God, I hate whoever decided. Boyndale and Boyndale. Let's fuck up some players with that shit. Boyndale is just. Whee! Volt.
As
I'm
soon
jealous.
as the last orc is killed, you and the twins free the remaining villagers.
But we didn't
You
kill
see,
that
the
many.
stories are true. Dwarves really are the best orc killers. We don't have much that we can offer you. Maybe we can rustle up some food.
But the villagers were there killing them with you.
I'm sorry, but we can't accept this.
We can't let you leave empty-handed. If you won't accept any...
The food is simple but hearty farmer's fare. The beer strong by human standards. And there's also dancing. You only really stayed on out of politeness. But you and the twins end up emptying tankard after tankard. The next morning, you set off again in good spirits and with full stomachs.
But not with full HP. What? What is that? Not the health potion, but I think you know what I'm talking about once it comes
I
up.
think you're able to loot 4 items, but
So, 1, 2,
I'm guessing because you didn't accept anything, you didn't get that item.
9, 10. I'll be able to make it.
By the evening campfire, Boindil rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth. He sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
Ah, there's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your
Wait, we've already
breath.
listened to this one. But
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
That's a record.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Boindil holds the stinky cheese at the end of the stick under your nose.
Eat, and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too. Several wagons full of building materials pass you by on the way to Goodwater.
Don't
The
go that way.
village's fortifications still show evidence of the orcs' attack, but they are making good progress with the repair work.
There they are, the dwarves, Goodwater's saviours. Come in. There's always a warm meal and a welcoming bed for you here.
I could get used to this.
that damn poor fuck, I got used to this. By the time I arrive, should be good. Have no injuries.
Boindil.
Like I said, I really fucked up when I first played, man. Just didn't realize what these numbers were. I was like, oh, I guess something's going down
You
there.
approach Scalebrook through its expansive fields and spot smoke rising up into the sky. A short while later, you can hear the cries of battle, and finally you can smell the tallow on the orc's armor. Scalebrook is at war.
What I find interesting is that despite killing the orcs at Goodwater, it moves them out so that the farmstead, as you noticed, scene can happen no matter what. You know?
Yep. I'm surprised though that that just doesn't do what it does whenever you're actually in battle and just sling enemies down from the north and the south. Or technically you're actually in the north and they're coming up from the south. But the map's backwards. What is a green scarf anyways?
Keeps escape from Farala. Brings good fortune to the wearer. As you see, you can't actually wear it. And you already know what the back down there is.
Quick! We have to help those people!
Bag of artifacts. You don't touch. Dwarf
What is it?
basically explode.
It just immediately put him with damage.
Another one bites the dust. Huh?
Hit that village just right upside the damn head.
Yeah! I didn't hit you very hard. And what now?
Find somewhere safe to hide. We'll come back for you once we've saved...
Who's next? That's it! They're fleeing! I don't think so, they're just rallying!
And that's what we should do too. Come on.
Thank you so much. You saved us.
That one human.
Not yet. The orcs
So
are
I made a
rallying.
little
You
pop
must
sound.
join us.
But we can't.
You must. Here they come.
As good as done. What is it?
Yes.
I can't actually see anything because I just.
I didn't hit you very hard. Who's
It's alright.
too easy?
Oh, did you
No. I'm saying it's alright due to the fact that you weren't missing much other than the fact that the camera got stuck on tongue gear for a bit. And I was basically doing what I did before, which was launching Boy and Dill right into a group of enemies.
Vile
being
creature. I didn't hit you very
wonky
hard.
use those ability actions
Too easy.
really fast.
What is it? Who's next?
Yes.
Kill. He's way too easy. What is it?
Not sure if I'm being spoken to or not. It's kind of confusing.
Who's next? I didn't hit you very hard.
I'll be right back. Let this scene play out for a bit.
While Boindale still hunts the last of the orcs through the alleyways of the village, you and Boandal are already helping search for survivors. Various villagers, all with shocked, ashen faces, come and thank you for saving them. A middle-aged man nervously steps from one foot to the other and tries to force a smile.
My father, the village elder, he is dead. I think I must follow in his footsteps, so I thank you in the name of Scalebrook. He left behind some gold as a dowry for my sister. She's...
The man bows his head, produces a
Reason
leather
I didn't let
pouch,
the dogs out
and
was
kneads
because
it with
Travis
trembling
was there.
hands.
If only you'd come earlier.
But before you can reply, the man
Just
takes a
before
deep
you went
breath
outside.
and forces himself to look at you.
What am I saying? How ungrateful. Thanks to you, many of us are still alive. My daughter may be able to marry one day, thanks to your bravery.
The man hesitates briefly, then thrusts the leather pouch towards you.
Probably going to need to accept at some point.
I'm back.
I know it's a bit silly to say, but being that it's so far away in the corner of the map, I'd say accept the reward. But hopefully won't be attacked anytime soon.
No, nah.
We won't accept your gold. Bury your dead, rebuild your village, and be a good...
The man opens his mouth to say something, but then he just shakes his head and finally starts
Skipped
again.
I thank you,
Boindale.
dear sir. But there
Nodding
is
his
no
approval
way
of
I
that.
can let you go with empty hands. Here, take this. My father bought it from a trader, one of your kind.
Eh. I got an ultra rare trophy, Rain. Orc Slayer. You have managed the impossible and saved 3 villages from the orcs. So what I just did was basically a test.
Most people didn't actually go the way you did and didn't save all the villages.
No, get away from
You
my
see a
donut.
camp with a wagon and 2 people on the edge of the path. Behind them, Black Saddle towers up above a thick, dark forest, about a half a day's journey away. You don't want to give them a shock, so you address them while you're still a distance away.
Hello, friends. Is there any space by your fire?
The 2 traders look up and visibly jump when they see you 3 dwarves.
Ah, hello. Yes, of course.
It doesn't escape your attention that you seem to be causing the traders some uneasiness, but you take up their offer and sit down. The twins follow your example.
We're only travellers. We're looking for someone who's said to live on Black Saddle. A hermit.
Someone who lives here?
The traders exchange amazed looks.
If they live here, they must be mad.
Normally we wouldn't stop and rest here, but the horses are too exhausted. Our departure from Parista was delayed, and we must have driven them too hard.
You come from Parista. How are things there?
No news to speak of, I'd say. Well, except for Nudin the Knowledge Lusty.
You know Nudin the Knowledge Lusty. Lot Yonan introduced him to you many years ago during a visit.
What about him?
Oh, nothing really. Just rumors.
You nod at the trader to continue.
He's behaving strangely and disappears into his tower for days on end.
Merely looks ill, apparently. Well, that's what someone I know said. Perhaps he got a spell wrong.
Why does Black Saddle make you feel uneasy? It doesn't look particularly inviting, but it's only a mountain.
Looks ill.
Only a
Looks
mountain?
ill. The dude
You don't know the
freaking looks
legend.
like he freaking
The trader
just
looks
got
at you and the twins for affirmation,
Black Plague.
but you all shake your heads.
Black Saddle was once known as Cloud
And
Piercer,
the only
and
thing
it towered
freaking
up
lies
into the
is
heavens,
from that
the
bit.
upper
Getting
slopes
more
of pure
flesh out
gold
of
and the
what
summit
seems more.
covered in snow. The humans wanted to attain this wealth, but the smooth slopes and the dazzling summit made the climb impossible. They called on the dwarves to help them. They were able to tunnel up through Cloud Piercer to the top, but they hollowed it out and carried away the gold. The humans demanded that the treasure be shared, but the dwarves refused, and as they argued, the mountain began to tremble. There were too many holes inside for it to hold together. It collapsed and buried both greedy parties underneath it. The mountain lost its tremendous size and its beauty, and ever since has haunted both humans and dwarves with its erosive hatred, causing even the rocks to turn black over time.
Never heard of it. Sounds like human tittle-tattle. Dwarves would never hollow out a mountain so much that it collapses.
Later in the night, after eating together and some friendly conversation by the campfire, you all decide to sleep, but you take the first watch. It's a night in which nothing happens, and the next morning the traders set off early. After breakfast, you also continue on your journey. After a march through the thick pine forest, Black Saddle,
right
the sinister tabletop mountain, and your journey's destination rises
See, their shape
up
is kind of like a
before
wagon.
you.
Those are to say traders.
Oh,
Oh.
So basically, that's the traders, and they made a two-day march.
Say that once more.
Those are basically the traders, and they made a 2-day march.
No. Wait. If you meant the one nearby, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that you just bought from made a 2-day march in the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure
Yeah,
that the
freaking
Famulus lives here?
Yes.
Yeah, if you notice the fucking
Although you tried to
King's
put a lot of
Cavalry,
assurance
they
into
made
your
a
voice,
5-day
you
march
too see
in a single
no
day when I
signs
left
that anyone
Goodwater.
lives here.
No castle, no tunnel, no camp.
I was like, holy
There's nothing here but mountain.
Then we'll have to take a closer look.
You do that, scholar. We'll be waiting for you here.
You think about objecting, but it would just be a waste of breath.
It was getting dangerously low before everybody knows.
No trace of Goren here either. If he's close, then there must be some kind of cave somewhere in the mountain.
I got pretty low there doing all that savioring. Look at the crack.
I can only climb a little way here. There must be a better way. Even the dark evergreen forest seems to be afraid of the Black Mountain.
That certainly took me a ways, didn't it?
An old tree. Looks like it could fall down at any moment.
I'm
There
surprised
we
you're not
go.
holding down the button to highlight stuff.
I don't think I can just press and hold. No, I can press and hold.
Too steep. I can't get a grip anywhere. If Goren is here, then he is further up. I should find some kind of clue before I climb down again. I should be able to get up here. Phew. That was close. I hope this is all worth it. Here's a...
Yeah, this one annoys the hell out of me.
Definitely a rock face.
Did you catch up to the point that annoyed the hell out of me?
And the fact that it's a flat rock face.
Definitely a rock face. It's like, it's not funny to do that. It really isn't. It's a waste of my time and your time in coding. You know?
There's something engraved on it.
You realize with surprise that they are runes in the Dwarven language.
Built with the blood of our enemies, be unyielding as the rock, and soak the land in their blood. Huh? Hello?
No, I just think of this and I'm just like, this is what it's like to join a party late game. Especially with the being that serious about their levels.
Master Garen! Lot Yonan sent me to bring some items back to you.
I mean, it's not as bad as Detective Savage, right?
My inquiries are almost at an end. That means I can
Savage
finally
Rage,
go to be with my sunshine. I have never been to Greenglade, but I think I will like it there.
No, it's
I
Detective
deposited my most valuable
Savage,
things in the
Savage
grave
Rage,
of Horengarth before my departure and secured it with magic.
Yep.
The password is...
You recognize the following words as rune names, but they're written in the learned language, so you don't know which they are.
I mean, it's better than the party themselves deciding that their monk, who was terrified of machines, was gonna drive.
Useful.
An eternal flame. I know who taught him that.
Oh, did you see the brief T-pose?
You see sketches and notes on the architectural features, statues and wall reliefs. It seems Garen spent a lot of time studying this place.
Maybe he's kind of a dwarf historian, or maybe he's just a treasure hunter. Hello? Is anyone there?
It looks as though Garen lived in the fortress for a while. It also seems that he left several lunar orbits ago.
He's not stealing. It would just be a shame if the provisions went off.
A series of weapons that are all clearly of dwarven origin. The spider webs and rust suggest they have been here for quite a while. Maybe even centuries. You have difficulty deciphering the scroll.
Throw the firstlings in the forge. Beat the secondlings to a pulp. The fourthlings are... The rest is illegible. Born of stone, forged in battle. Arise, reborn from the blood of the enemy.
You're not sure if you really want to know what was once in this basin. The whole place gives you the feeling that a decent dwarf shouldn't hang around too long.
Graves. Could be buried here.
This is a place that was used to resurrect dwarves for their armor.
Rune.
Oh, did that by accident.
There's an order on what you need to do.
Oh yeah, I know the order. Just I did the other one by accident.
Ah! That's it! Garen's most valuable belongings. Letters from his lover, a silk scarf that must have belonged to her, and a medallion.
Wanna know how I originally guessed that thing? Because, like, the correct type answer for these types of puzzles is always never the nearest one. You know, so you had to find the one that always starts lit up.
It belongs to the Dwarf Haters.
So you always find the one that stays lit first, and then go from there. Because this was a simple 4 one, it was easy to tell that one, that one, that one, that one. You know?
But there's probably something that actually says, and that was a clue, that if you knew Celtic, or not Celtic, but Anglo-Saxon, actually know what it was.
I think the time it really starts to run heavy is when it wants to zoom way out. Also, there's that down there if you notice. I think they had something that they didn't, I don't know, not know how to remove, and so they just dragged it down off map.
So, Scholar, what are the results of your inquiries?
There is an abandoned fortress in the mountain, and I think it belonged to the Thirdlings.
Boindale's eyes narrow.
The blasted dwarf killers!
A Thirdling fortress? Here? In the middle of Girdlegard? We must let High King Gundrabur know about this.
The fortress has been long abandoned by the looks of it. Anyway, I can't go to Ogre's death until I have completed my quest. Goren is in Greenglade.
Huh.
The High King? Why do you want to bring me to him?
All right then. It's about the choice of the new High King. Gandagar, the king of the Fourthlings, is with his entourage in Ogre's death and is supposed to ascend the throne.
But our acting High King Gundrabur wants to prevent that from happening. He fears that Gandagar wishes to instigate a war against the elves.
But what have I got to do with that?
Boindale is about to say something, but is silenced by a nudge in the side from his brother.
High King Gundrabur will explain everything when the time comes.
You look distrustfully from one twin to the other. Boindale has donned an innocent expression,
That's a long
and
ass
Boindale
nudge.
doesn't give you the impression that he has anything else to say
You
on the
know,
matter.
I didn't think about it till you just said that shit. just he like interrupts him, walks on over, goes back to sleep. Just what was that? What was that? No, nothing. Don't worry.
What does this King Gandagar have against the elves?
Dwarves and elves just don't get along. Brackus
You
and
had to
Italia
say
made us
him.
that
Now
way.
my brain's just like
I know that.
his
but
arm stretching
going to
over with the
war
hammer to nudge him in the
for
side.
just that, after all this time.
Well, there must be
I
more
was
behind.
actually thinking that
They say
his
that the
weapon
king
just
of the Fourthlings is
stretches
full of
out to the
hatred
point where he just
and is a
goes,
hothead in this matter.
You just look at this weapon just reach. It's just like, what?
Thirdling Fortress. Here, in the heart of Girdlegard.
But if anybody
strange,
runs
isn't it?
across us and decides,
And
hey,
worrying.
I'm going to sit through this guy playing.
They've always been wily.
And they get to
They
that where
move
they
in the
should get a
shadows
good
and
fucking
kill
chuckle.
there too if they can. Do you know their story?
I've read about it. Lorenberg, their progenitor, rejected the name that Vrakas gave him, who in turn did not give him any special talents, so his kingdom studied war.
It helps them defending the East, but it also meant they ended up confronting the other kingdoms. No dwarf would ever even think of injuring one of his kind, never mind killing them. But the dwarf killers are proud of it. When they were even more powerful, they wanted to become the rulers of all dwarves. They are envious of our skills. They haven't been heard of for a long time, but you can be sure there isn't a single dwarf alive who doesn't hate them.
Whatever, your High King must wait. I have a quest to carry out in Greenglade.
But our quest is...
Boindil raises a placatory hand and throws his rucksack onto his back in preparation.
Let it be, dear brother. Look at him. He has made his decision, and you will not be able to change his stubborn dwarven mind.
You can't help but smile.
You're on mic.
All you had to do is mute yourself, you know. Isn't that right?
I was just letting him know
never
that,
mind.
that he was talking with someone else.
Do what?
I just letting my brother-in-law know that there was actually someone on the end of the mic.
Someone on the other end, that's broadcasting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he's broadcasting too.
The whole world.
Yep. What the heck is this Cypress?
Oh, it's a new monster farm.
I have not played Yu-Gi-Oh! In quite some time.
While taking a rest, you see a cart trundling along the road not far away from you. A young couple are sitting on the box seat, clearly in love and more interested in each other than the rest of the world around them. The sight reminds you of a long, unanswered question.
So, I was wondering, what do female dwarves look like?
Pretty.
Very pretty.
Uh-huh.
You were expecting a little more information.
Do they have beards?
No, I would say it's more like fluff. Oh, very attractive.
And what do they do? I mean, are they warriors too?
In our kingdom, most take care of domestic life. They take the animals down to the meadows in the valleys, make sure the larders are full and that there's plenty of good beer, and make our clothes.
It only ever causes problems when men and women stand shoulder to shoulder in battle.
Some of them are talented stonemasons and smiths, and beware of insulting their skills. They are no less proud than we are.
Well then.
What, the thing with the female dwarves?
Yep. Yeah.
You arrive at a small, bustling village. One thing is clearly missing from the lively scene. The sound of metal on metal from the village smithy that would normally be heard above everything else at this time of day. A dour, grim-looking man is sitting in front of the forge with his right arm in a sling. His expression brightens as he sees you, and he jumps to his feet.
Dear dwarves, could I interest you in helping me in my workshop for a day?
The man's expression is somewhere between desperation and hope. As you don't answer immediately, he continues.
You will, of course, be royally rewarded for your work. I can offer you 100 gold pieces.
Oh, Link Monster. Remember Synchros back in the day?
What happened to your arm?
A stupid accident. A box of blanks fell down. I was trying to catch it. It will heal, fortunately, but I won't be able to wield my hammer for a while.
You must have quite a backlog of work.
You nod sympathetically. You always felt bad if you were ill or couldn't work in the forge for some reason or other.
Loads. But if what I hear about the metalworking skills of the dwarves is true, it will be easy for you to manage it in a day.
Okay, well, what you could do is you could, because they now have one extra monster. But, let's say, you know...
I'll help you. I worked in a forge for a while.
You modestly conceal that in this case, a while means almost a whole human lifetime. A little later, you are standing in the workshop, examining the smith's inferior tools, while he fires up the forge and prepares everything for the job, as well as he can, with just one good arm. You weren't able to persuade the twins to help you. As warriors, they'd rather go hunting, Boindil declared. But you think it's more probable that you'll find them drinking beer. But you don't care. You're excited about being able to smith again after such a long time. Hours later, you have forgotten everything around you. The heat of the forge, the sweat on your warm skin, the play of the flames. You're in your element and work as if in a trance. The smith left the workshop ages ago with a satisfied grin on his face.
Wait, I'm talking to you.
You look up in surprise. Everything but the beating of the hammer had ceased to exist, and you didn't notice that someone has come in.
Can you do it?
You immediately dislike the middle-aged man. He sounds you out so doggedly with his light grey eyes that it feels as though he wants to look right through you and into your deepest thoughts. The man points to two horses.
Those two, in 1 hour.
Yep. You can get any one of the other 2 months.
With the forge hammer in your hand, you play dumb. You blink and look back and forth between the horses and the man.
What's the deal with the horses?
You expect the man to fly off the handle, but you feel even more uneasy when he asks you quietly and very slowly to please re-shoe the two horses.
So, if he's
These
here,
two need
he gets
shoeing?
all three of these.
No problem.
The man doesn't look convinced, but you get to work with confidence. Two more armed men are standing next to the horses, sizing you up.
So, you're mercenaries, I take it?
You're only trying to engage in conversation, but the man looks at you incredulously, as if he didn't expect dwarves to be able to talk.
Something like that.
Got lots of work? Oh, do you know anything about the armies of orcs from the south?
We can't complain.
The man's tone makes it clear that the conversation has ended here. You carry out the work in silence. As the leader of the mercenaries pays you, you have the feeling that he is trying to transfix you with his eyes. The men leave the workshop without a word. The men join a larger group of horsemen, more than a dozen, outside the village. You stay hidden and listen.
Not here in the village. Go. Search the road between here and Clintarligan.
The other mercenaries nod and the group rides off. You can't make head nor tail of what's going on here, but you don't like it. You tell the twins about your encounter, and they decide to be especially vigilant over the next days. You spend the night in the smith's house and move on the next morning. In the early evening, you make an unusual discovery on the side of the road. A colourful trader's wagon has been carelessly abandoned, with not a soul in sight.
I don't like the look of this one bit, Boindil. You take a look around there, I'll stay on this side. Tungdil, You check the surrounding area, and be careful.
He had 5-headed dragon on him. That was on monster in the back row.
You can see a lot of tracks in the mud around the wagon. Hoof prints and footprints from humans in heavy boots. At least half a dozen long ones must have approached the wagon from the woods on both sides.
I'm going to attack it. How?
The wagon itself isn't damaged, nor is the drawbar, but the belts and leashes that normally hold the draft animals have been cut clean through. You scan the road and the woods on both sides. Apart from the twins who are fighting their way through the undergrowth within earshot, you can't hear or see anyone. The dwindling daylight provides little light inside the wagon. It smells of leather, spices, and candles. And there's another smell in the air, which you can't quite place. It reminds you of your forge in Lot Yonan's vaults, but different. It is messy, but no more so than you would expect from a single dwarf. The bed is rumpled, and there are tools and leftover materials piled up on the little workbench. There are several cupboards hanging on the right-hand wall. At the end of the wagon, there's a large wardrobe, and next to the door on the left is a heavy wooden chest with rusty metal hinges. The smaller cupboards are piled high with a multitude of tins and boxes, all filled with odds and ends that the trader offered for sale to customers on his trips. Nothing of real interest. You reach for the knob of the wardrobe, and then stop. The rug in front of the wardrobe squelches as you step on it, as if you had stepped in a puddle. You try to work out what has soaked the rug, when suddenly the door of the wardrobe springs open and something bounces into you. You take a step back, and the realization of what hit you makes you take two more.
I've not seen it.
Lying on the floor in front of you is the body of a dwarf,
Can you explain it to me?
headless. His head has been cut clean from his neck. The dwarf is wearing clothes that look more like human robes, and bears no coat of arms that would identify his kingdom. You didn't know him, but no one deserves to die like this. His head is being cut off cleanly, probably with a sharp blade. A quick glance in the wardrobe confirms what you already suspect. The dwarf's head is nowhere to be seen. As you try to lift the lid of the chest, you realize that the lock has been broken out of the wood. You open the lid and look inside. Amongst clothes and some empty boxes, you find a loot case and a beautiful loot of the kind that humans build, as well as a bag of bread and cured meat. You take the loot. You can't play, but an instrument like this is worth good gold. You take the bread and the cured meat. The extra provisions should keep you going for a few days. You give a short, sharp whistle, and the twins come running at the double. You tell them what you found.
A group of horsemen with heavy boots has been here. I found Mort in the wagon, beheaded. I have a hunch that the mercenaries from Fallow have something to do with this.
Wretched dwarf killers!
You can tell that Boindil wants revenge and can understand his feelings well. You wrap the body in linen, dig a hole in the woods, and place the body in it. You lay a couple of his tools and other personal belongings you found in the wagon next to him. You wish there was more you could do for him. You continue on your journey in gloomy spirits.
Yeah.
I'm so heavily confused. How did the character know about what his name was?
I'm guessing that supposedly they just skipped telling him what the person's name was.
You come across an orchard next to a farmstead and surrounded by several fields of wheat. You don't see anyone working in the fields, but there's a young man lying under an apple tree. He has his legs crossed, and a straw hat is covering his face.
Excuse me, but we're looking for a group of mercenaries. Have they passed by here?
The young man is startled. He must have nodded off. He looks around anxiously. When he sees you, the fear disappears from his face and is replaced by curiosity. It seems to you that the man is sizing you up.
And if I answer, what's in it for me?
If you can't help us, we'd be happy to ask the owner of the farmstead. We'll just tell him that the man sleeping in the shade of the orchard sent us. What do you think?
The man seems to size you up, and then a crooked smile spreads across his face.
All right, you caught me. The people rode northwest. But please don't tell Father Mullen.
There's no reason for that, if you told the truth. So, northwest, you say?
You continue on your journey, while the lazy labourer sinks back into the grass.
You know, it'd be easy to know which way is north if they had a compass.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I still find it funny that
the first thing you notice as you enter the village of Clintal is how quiet it is.
North,
there's hardly a soul in the streets, and the few people you do see immediately disappear into their houses as you get closer.
Really freaking far south.
Boindil draws his axis, and Boendal his raven's beak.
Something's not quite right here. Be alert.
You walk on until you reach the village square. Without a word, men enter the square from the left and the right, cutting off your way. You recognize the leader of the group of mercenaries, looking you over with a satisfied expression. Standing next to him is a frail man with greying hair, who doesn't seem able to cope with the situation. He tries several times to say something, but can't find the right words.
Are you going to kill us, just like you killed the travelling trader?
The leader of the mercenaries shakes his head sadly and seems shaken.
You fiends want to lay the blame on us? You damn murderers! Murderers? Come here, dwarf killer!
Are you denying your terrible deed? You were seen murdering poor old Mort, one of your kind, in cold blood.
The old man points unnecessarily to the leader of the mercenaries.
I wouldn't choose one because third borns.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's known to the other races. Marriage saves,
So apparently, you saw us committing murder, but you didn't intervene? And then you overtook us and only set a trap for us now, and here, several days' journey from the place where it happened. Your story doesn't seem to make much sense.
We knew that the good people of Clinton would stand by us in confronting you. Mort was...
But how did you know that we would come to Clinton of all places? If you were really tracking us, that wouldn't have been possible. But if you, on the other hand, were the ones being tracked, then it would have been easy for you to steer us into this trap.
He does have a point, Medley. Why did you?
The village elder stops mid-sentence as the leader of the mercenaries draws his sword. The village elder turns from the mercenary to look at you, and then gives his men a signal to withdraw.
You can't play if your opponent don't have anything.
Or even one card in hand.
Well, it seems the elder listened to the truth. Because he gave his men the signal to withdraw.
That's good.
If not, I'm about to be fighting way more than I think I can handle.
Are you about to fight humans, though, you said?
I think so. That might be just the one mercenary leader.
And probably whoever was...
Watch out for the archers.
Oh, nope.
Looking at the max speed for it.
But I do have the HP.
Boindale has so little HP.
Tungdale has barely any. 5040, 7168, 9000.
One looks like it's Boindale, and the other one is just immediately
just rips HP from people. Me.
As good as done. Yeah. Huh?
Too easy!
He hardly put up a fight.
Yes?
Yeah! What is it? Yes, yes!
So easy!
Humphrey, bow and dog, give me a hand!
Yeah, well, there.
And again. Yes.
Damn it! How many more of them are there? Oh, he didn't hit you very hard! Huh?
Get all the way over there and then hit the triangle.
On my way!
Understood.
On my way!
Understood.
What is it?
Who's next?
I'll be ready soon!
Yeah! And what
Had so
now?
much health again, but his injuries were so high. Not doing well.
Oh, that went a lot better than I think we were expecting it to go. So why'd you set your headset into your TV to give out my voice?
So that way I wasn't just
The last
talking
of the mercenaries
to the
falls to the
sitting in
ground,
front of
but
my
Boindale
brother-in-law.
is still in the frenzy of battle.
I'm already crazy
You
enough.
and
I don't even
Boindale have
think
to
I'm
physically
extra.
restrain him until he comes to his senses. Otherwise, he would have stormed the houses
Plus
to find
also,
more adversaries.
Listening to this was
You
very
walk
hard
up
to
to
do.
the
and
body
tried
of the
to talk at
mercenaries'
same time.
leader and search his pockets. You soon find something. A letter.
An anonymous client seeks dwarf skulls cleanly cut, shorn, and
only
put into
coming in 1
jars
year.
with honey.
I was trying to listen to
1,000 gold coins will be paid for
So-
each skull. Khan, Bounty Hunters Guild Master.
That's bounty hunters. Hunting for dwarves. Despicable.
You hold the letter aloft so that everyone can see it.
Look, citizens of Clintel, proof that these men are the killers. They are bounty hunters hunting for dwarves.
The village elder comes out of one of the houses, flanked by other villagers. You ignore their weapons, as well as their sinister expressions, and hand over the letter.
It would seem you are telling the truth. And you only killed those who deceived us. I thank you for this.
The village elder signals to a woman, and a few moments later, she brings you food and a bag of gold.
Take this in thanks for your actions.
What was that, Rain?
No, I was listening to what my brother-in-law was saying. That's so, and it increases the attack power to 19.
So, you know, if that would be double it up.
You approach the village and can tell, even from far off, that something isn't right. The smell of burnt wood and death is in the air.
Even I've played Light and Dark decks, and they bother me. As you might guess, it's not so much the fact of it being light or dark. It's the deck itself is going to the graveyard and just